Okay, we're trying something new. We are trying something new. We are trying something new. If you guys do not like the way that this video looks, for any reason you don't like the aesthetic, please let me know down below and I will change it. But if not, if you do like it, please let me know because I'm trying something different. Something about seeing my couch made me very uncomfortable and I was just like, we need to start looking at different places, and I do not want to go ahead and set up all my lights, all my colorful lights to do the original setup I used to do when I first started. But definitely let me know if you guys like this. If not, also let me know. I will not be offended, please. Okay. Anyway, hi. So I put up on my Instagram a poll of what you guys would want to see for this weekend, and you guys really do come through with the polls because I truly get at a loss for what you guys want to see. And if you don't follow me on my Instagram, you need to. It's at The Doll Studio by Chris. And this week, you guys wanted to see the truth about the American Girl Doll Hair Salon. So I am here to talk to you guys about that. For those of you guys who do not know, I used to work at the American Girl Doll Hair Salon, and during my time there are a lot of misconceptions of what the American Girl Doll Hair Salon is, what it pertains, what you can do, all of those different things. And I just wanted to basically come on here as an American Girl Doll collector and as someone who has worked there about basically sharing with you guys some cautionary tales, some precautions before going, things you should know. Also, of course, just some stories from when I worked there, because working there, you see a lot of stuff and a lot of stuff goes down behind the scenes that you're kind of just like, I wish the people knew about these things and I wasn't tied to working here so that way I can speak on it. And since I no longer work there, I just want to talk to you guys basically about some of those precautions, opinions, personal ideas, all of that stuff. So again, my videos are for adult collectors and adult audiences. I know that the American Girl Doll Hair Salon is for children. It's meant for the child audience, but as a collector, the temptation is very high, and I know a lot of people want to experience it, but I just wanted to let you guys know that these are some things that I've noticed, realized, and that most of these are basically facts, but of course I'm going to be spilling in a few of my own personal opinions and my own personal thoughts. So again, this is for adult collectors. I will be mentioning the child audience a couple of times, but please remember this is for adult collectors and also parents. Parents, please watch this video and be aware of some of these things, because the last thing you want to do is walk up to someone at the American Girl Doll Hair Salon and sound like this is your first time on earth. I also wanted to mention the reason that this video is called The Truth About the American Girl Doll Hair Salon is because there really aren't problems. It's more so personal preference and whether or not you see things as a problem. For me, I love the American Girl Doll Hair Salon and I think it's great. But again, I just wanted to give you guys some cautionary precautions before going. So I just want to reiterate that this is not like me trying to slander. These are just my own personal opinions. Sound off in the comments if you would like. But again, just be respectful in the comments when sharing your own opinion as well. So let me just give you guys an overview of what the American Girl Doll Hair Salon is. There are two locations specifically that do doll and girl, Chicago and New York. In New York, you can get your doll's hair done, your hair done, and your nails done, and you can also get your ears pierced. At the other locations, I know that LA is getting a remodel and they are moving locations, and the new location that is opening up in the fall winter season is going to have a area for you to be able to do your hair and your nails and also get your ears pierced as well. But from my understanding, the other American Girl Doll stores do not offer any of those other services. It's a really fun experience for you to be able to bring your American Girl Doll in, have her hair done, and just have a very immersive experience where you pamper your American Girl Doll. On the website now at americangirl.com, you can actually see what the hairstyles are before going into the store. I recommend anyone and everyone going on there and looking at the styles that are offered. It just roughly gives you an idea of how much you could potentially be spending at the American Girl Doll Hair Salon. So I definitely would recommend going on there and doing that. Now, I'm just gonna get right into it. If you are an American Girl Doll collector, before even reserving a spot or going to the American Girl Doll Hair Salon, I just want to make you very aware of why I, as a collector, do not take my dolls to the American Girl Doll Hair Salon to get their hair done within reason. And let me just explain that, because I know a lot of people are going to literally pull up the video of me getting my McKenna's hair done and going to the American Girl Doll Hair Salon in DC. I would never take brand new American Girl Dolls to the hair salon. As a collector, I would only ever take dolls to the hair salon to get their hair recurled or since I have doubles of certain American Girl dolls and I want to shoot content with those dolls with these specific styles that American Girl is doing, I will bring them in. But my display girls at home do not touch the American Girl doll hair salon, because the American Girl doll hair salon, I truly believe, is really only meant for children and American Girl dolls that you don't want to splurge the $50 on for the head replacement at the American Girl doll hospital, and instead want to prolong the amount of time that you could basically play with her. I really only recommend it for children and parents that don't want their kids' dolls' hair to get messed up, and for collectors that have a very well-loved American Girl doll and they don't want to splurge on the money for the head replacement, or they can't get the head replacement, so they just want the hair to look somewhat together, and they can use this as a way to be able to make the doll look really nice and clean without spending the money on the doll hospital. The methods that the American Girl hair salon uses to style your American Girl doll's hair can really damage a lot of dolls with curly hair and wavy hair. I don't really think it's the same thing for dolls with straight hair, because you could always go in and straighten your American Girl doll's hair, but trying to get the crimps from the braids out of your American Girl doll's hair that has curly hair is extremely hard without applying heat and without playing a long waiting game. And even then, you may not be able to get that crimp out, because with the amount of water that they use, they really, and I mean really, drench your doll's hair up to the point where if it dries, that crimp is staying in your doll's hair for a while. And if she has curly hair or wavy hair, it is not going to come back the way that you purchased her. So that is my biggest cautionary tale for collectors. Do not get a brand new 44, 83, any of those girlies, and then go to the American Girl doll hair salon and decide to pick out a sweetheart braid, because the day that you take out that sweetheart braid, her curls are not going to fall down the way that they were when she was brand new. I feel like this goes without saying. I feel like a lot of people will probably know this when you really think about it, but when you're buying a new doll, you kind of want to experience the store altogether, and you're not really thinking about the fact that the hair salon, in turn, the repercussions of getting your doll's hair done could be that drastic. But let me share with you guys a little story. When I first worked at the American Girl doll hair salon and they were trying out the salon for the employees before the new Rockefeller Center location had opened up, I took my brand new Caroline doll into the American Girl doll hair salon, and without thinking, I told my parents, hey, take my doll to the hair salon, get a video and picture of it, and I can't wait to see what you guys pick. And so, of course, I took Caroline, and she looked amazing. Her hair was beautiful. I did the half ponytail twist with the braid, which is now called something like long and weird, but basically it was 2 braids on either side of her hair that went into the back of her head, and then 2 little twists, and then the rest of her hair was nice and curled and pretty, and there was hair elastic everywhere, and it was really clean and really pretty. I, of course, left her in this hairstyle for, I'm gonna roughly say, about 2 weeks, because I didn't really want to touch it, and also since I paid for it, I didn't really want to mess around with it. But when I took it out, her hair was so crimped, her curls were not coming back. I went in with a steamer, curlers, everything, and those crimps were so tight in her hair that you just couldn't reverse the damage that had already been done. So of course I had to send her into the doll hospital for a new head, and that was something that I wish I would have thought of before sending the doll in to the American Girl doll hair salon. I feel like it's something that a lot of collectors don't really think about until it's too late, and I say that because I've gotten quite a couple of DMs saying, hey, I went to the American Girl doll hair salon and got the sweetheart braid, and I tried taking it out of my American Girl doll's hair, but now her hair is unmanageable. It has really deep crimps in her hair. How do I reverse it? And for me, especially with dolls with curly hair, you kind of can't, without doing a lot of extreme work to try to reverse the damage that was done with utilizing the American Girl doll hair salon. Even ponytail hairstyles are still damaging because you are pulling at your American Girl doll's curls and stretching it out. So if you were to take out those ponytail hairstyles, the curls wouldn't come back either, because they would be stretched out because they've been getting pulled out in that style for a really long time. And if you're spending the money, of course, you're not going to want to take out the hairstyle immediately, but the longer you leave those hairstyles in, again, the longer the hair is being able to settle in that new form. Now, dolls that are hand-me-down dolls and that you don't really want to lose the sentimental value of that doll, I highly recommend taking to the doll hair salon, especially if they've been through the ruins. Like, I would definitely for sure take those dolls because they're gonna get played with and they're just gonna get more messy and their hair is just gonna get worse, especially over time. So by all means, go crazy with the doll hair salon in that regard. I've seen a lot of parents tell me, oh, I know my daughter is not gonna be able to take care of this doll's hair, so just put it up into a braid or something really, really tight, so that way when she plays with the doll, her hair is not going crazy everywhere and getting tangled and messed up. I don't want her to deal with it, so just put it up. And I'm like, perfect. So basically, word to the wise, if you want your doll to be in pristine condition, don't even look at the American Girl doll hair salon. And I say that within reason. I can do an entire video on the dolls that I allow to go to the American Girl doll hair salon that are my display dolls that I'm like, you can get your doll's hair done, or that I recommend you get your doll's hair done for. There are certain dolls that I would say it's okay to go to the hair salon, and if you want to go, these are the specific styles that I would recommend, and that is an entire video that we can do in the future. But I want to move on to my next thing, which is talking about the training that all of the American Girl doll hair salon stylists get. Every specific store has their own training, so the quality control over all the stores overall is not the same. I worked at the New York location, and beyond all the stores, everyone knew, and it's like a factual that New York has the highest reputation, best reviews, and has the tightest, cleanest American Girl doll hairstyles. I would like to give credit where credit is due. Mo and Kalia, like I said before, are amazing trainers. They are the only people that I go to at the American Girl doll hair salon for anything, because they have been there for forever and they hold it down, and I know that they know what they're doing, and I trust them with my whole heart. I've seen collectors recently in YouTube videos go to Mo and Kalia and not be aware of the fact that they are literally getting their hair done by legends, okay? If you come to the New York store, I always recommend them. They're in my videos. Definitely go to them. When I went to the other stores, it became very aware to me how training differentiates between stores. The waterfall at the New York store is a very different hairstyle at the DC store. The ponytail veil at the New York store is a very different hairstyle at the LA location. Like, I have seen the videos, and if you do enough research and watch enough hairstyling videos, you can literally see that the same hairstyle can look completely different at two different locations. So my recommendation for that is always ask for the senior stylist or the trainer there, so that way you know your styles are gonna come out at the highest quality possible. And I only say that not to be mean to the people that are, only doing it seasonally, but to some people, this is just a job and it's not something that they truly care about. And that's just like with anything. Whereas the people that have been there for a long time, they know it like the back of their hand, and there is a sense of care that they have with the hairstyling. So I definitely would recommend going to the senior stylist or ask them who the trainer is for the hair salon and ask them to do your doll's hair, especially if you're very serious about making sure that the hairstyle looks like the way that it does in the book. So now that I've gotten through some key points that I wanted to touch upon, I now want to do a little bit of a lightning round and talk about some misconceptions about the American Girl doll hair salon and some things you should know once you've basically booked your reservation for girl, doll, and ear piercings. So first and foremost, the American Girl doll hair salon does not fix American Girl doll hair. They don't have steamers in the back. They don't have straighteners in the back. Nothing that is going to defrizz your American Girl doll's hair. They are only styling your American Girl doll's hair with water, brushes, and elastics. That's it. They are not pulling anything out. They are not washing your American Girl doll's hair, and they for sure do not fix doll hair that has been cut. The amount of Julie dolls that I have seen walk into the American Girl doll hair salon and people actually get mad at the associates there because they cannot fix the cut hair is astronomical. You would not believe it. It happened once a day when I was working there. Someone would always come up frustrated by the fact that they had a doll that had cut hair and we could do nothing about it but style and try to mask the cut pieces as best as possible. That is a doll hospital thing, not an American Girl doll hair salon thing. Next, they do not do our generation dolls and any non-branded American Girl dolls anymore. Back in the day when I worked there used to be a contract that basically stated that if you were bringing in a non-branded American Girl doll, they are not liable for any mishaps because it's not an American Girl doll. And you would think that that wouldn't happen a lot, that a lot of people wouldn't bring an Our Generation My Life As doll to the American Girl doll store, but it happens a lot. The amount of parents that lie to their children that they have and own an American Girl doll is common more than you think. And I can completely understand why, but also don't bring your child into the American Girl doll store and have a service performed on a non-branded American Girl doll without thinking, hey, they may confront me on the fact that I told my child that this is a American Girl doll when it's not, because that happened a lot. And a lot of parents were frustrated by the fact that we could not, liability-wise, tell their child that that was an American Girl doll when it was not. And it used to frustrate me so much because, Helen, you know that when you walked into the Target that you were not purchasing an American Girl doll. So why are you fronting in front of your child? Why did you bring her into the store if you knew that the doll that she has in her hand was not an American Girl doll? Everyone can have a different opinion on that whole thing, but they no longer do it, and they no longer will service a Our Generation doll or My Life As doll. They don't do it anymore, so don't even try it. If you're watching this video and gonna bring an Our Generation doll in, don't do it. They're not gonna do it. So save yourself that awkward exchange where they are gonna refuse your doll because they're not gonna do it. People also think that when you are gonna get your doll's ears pierced, you do not need a reservation for that. First of all, you can order that at the checkout whenever you're checking out with your American Girl doll. You can just ask them to also charge you for an ear piercing, and then you can walk over to the American Girl doll hair salon and just have someone pierce your doll's ears. But you cannot see it all go down. You cannot see the way that they pierce your American Girl doll's ears. It gets done behind closed doors. Oh my God, this is extremely triggering to me because the amount of times that I had to call my manager up because someone was always upset that their daughter couldn't see their doll's ears get pierced. It was constant. Like, people would complain about that all the time. Why can't I see my daughter's dolls get her ears pierced? And it's like, because the way that we do it is not something that you're gonna want your child to experience. And I'm not gonna get into the whole way that they actually do it. You can go do a quick Google search. I was contracted and I can't state how they do it behind the scenes. Go do a Google search, go find out on your own. There's a bunch of videos on how it gets done, but a child should not have to see that. So there's no pretty way of being able to do a experience like that where it doesn't look really, really, really crazy. So on the topic of ear piercing, always, before you leave the store, check your doll's ear piercing. No matter what they say, step away from the salon, go somewhere private, take out the little studs, and make sure that your doll does not have kickback from the tool that they use to pierce your doll's ear, because you may end up with something like this. Some employees can get very careless and will try to mask a bad ear piercing by just putting in the stud and hoping you don't notice. And for most people, they don't until it's too late. This is a picture from a friend who went to get his Corinne's ears pierced, and the tool that they used bounced back on his doll's ear and it ended up creating dents on either side of her ears. So always check, because you want to make sure that your doll's ear piercing is even, it's loose enough that it's not a hassle to take out, and you also want to make sure that there are no dents from the tool that they used. And in regards to girls getting their actual ears pierced at the Chicago and New York store, they don't use numbing cream on your little girl's ears. They don't do second hole piercings as well. It's only first time ear piercings for the girls, and they use guns, not needles. They don't do them at the same time as well. That's a lot of information, but the biggest thing I would say is that if your daughter is old enough to understand what is going on, do not force them into getting their ears pierced, because they don't numb them and they don't do them at the same time. So she's gonna have to go through that pain twice. I personally feel like the American Girl thing is a glorified Claire's experience when it comes to the ear piercing, because yes, it is cosmetologists, but their piercing for the first time sometimes, and it sometimes has not gone pretty from the things that I've seen, where some people haven't been doing it for a while and haven't been trained on it enough, and they end up getting the studs in the gun stuck in your daughter's ears. So be careful with that. Take her to a tattoo parlor. That sounds a little crazy, I understand, but a needle is just the way you should go with ear piercings in general, because the guns are like stapling your ears, and that's something I learned in beauty school, and that's something I believe. And I have witnessed a child once upon a time at the American Girl store spit in her mom's face because her mom was forcing her onto that chair and was forcing her to have her ears pierced. And it was like the most insane thing ever. And the mom was crying, asking them, where's the numbing cream? And they were like, we don't have any because we don't do it that way. And it was, oh my God, it was like one of the scariest and most, like, I was gonna say amazing. It was one of the most crazy experiences ever at the American Girl store. Like, this little girl spit in her mom's face. It was wild. But anyway, yes, those are some things you should be wary of when booking your appointment at the American Girl Doll Hair Salon in regards to actual human ear piercing. They don't do it at the same time. They don't put numbing cream, and they use piercing guns, not needles or anything else. Okay, so that is where I'm going to finish this video. I feel like I can definitely come up with a lot more truths and a lot more facts and a lot more opinions and a lot of more disclaimers, but I feel like I can save that for a part 2. Or if you guys want to hear stories of my experience at the American Girl store and just crazy customers I've had, please make sure you let me know in the comments, because now that I'm jogging my memory about the girl spitting in her mom's face, I definitely have a lot more under my belt, but I don't want this video to be 30+ minutes. So thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Chris. You guys can follow me on my Instagram, which is @thedollstudio by Chris. You guys can follow me on my behind the scenes account, which is Behind the Studio by Chris. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching this video again. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what your thoughts are on this video, this setup, and everything else. All right, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys.